Welcome back, Noble Heroes. Thank you for returning to us for another session of Mythia. Our characters find themselves in the Doomridge foothills, a terrifying land, similar to other terrifying lands in many other fantasy settings, like Mordor. It is a blackened land covered in strange, almost eerie neon grass and himply mushrooms that grow up massive from the ground like great tree trunks, as well as the ruins and remains of castles of dark lords, war-strewn lands, orc tribes, shadow creatures of darkness, and other terrifying magics from long ago. Our heroes have recently been ambushed by a giant, who Juniper knows is named Oreiga. This giant is an important one. He is the ruler of the giants of the Sky Range, which makes it very strange that he is found in this blasted land. And Roland decided to attack him. The characters fought, and then a surprise, a corrupted shrine, which the characters only recently came upon a pair of them, a dragon shrine and a kobold shrine, but this one had been maltreated and hid itself long enough to unveil in the time in which it would do the most damage. It screamed out a terrifying, thunderous roar, which attacked the body and the mind, destroying several of the awakened mushrooms that came alive in the tempest between the ascended Roland and Oreiga, which Oreiga seems to have a plethora of powers. Which ones happen to be his fate are unknown. But we go ahead and begin with a different perspective as usual. But first, Noble Heroes, I'd like to give you our pledge. We here at the Homebrew channel reserve the right to be horrible, crass, and crude when the story calls for it, but also to be delightful, sweet, and tug on your heartstrings. And remember, Noble Heroes, do try this at home. Oreiga was drunk. He knew those old barrels of beer had been a bad idea. But when a poor plan rears its ugly head, one can't always shrug it off alone. Worse still, he had been hungry when he had grabbed the first barrel. He had gotten so drunk that he came around to being feisty again. In his simple, drunk brain, getting food was as easy as finding some money, and an easy way to get money was just to rob a few folks. He used his fate to set up some simple traps, hide some metal inside stuff, and wrap up those who didn't comply in bronze bars. This had worked well in the first three groups, and he was collecting quite the large bag of coins and other valuables. Oreiga knew well the reputation of the Doomridge, and guessed that all these people had earned their coins through questionable means, so he hardly felt bad taking it from them. He was still riding high when he heard another group approach his ambush spot. He ducked down beneath the ridge and waited. Once he saw this next group, he thought he had gotten lucky. Could a band look more evil? Look at that guy! A gaunt gray devil walked amongst their number, with a hideous, lumbering servant, whose features seemed to reveal a man with only a few morals. Not only that, but a wraith-like skeleton moved quietly next to them. Several obvious pirates were hiding among their number, and a hooded man, whose attire easily revealed him to be a bandit. Additionally, they had grotesque boar beetles carrying their supplies, which all giants knew to be beasts of ill omen. Finally, among these obvious ruffians were a couple of people who possessed otherworldly beauty. These must be the wizards in disguise. Leaders, perhaps liches or hags, who wore deceptions, cloaked around them with magic. Suddenly, Oreiga was a heroic figure again, just like he had been in his teenage years, questing for the downtrodden. He would take the ill-gotten gains of these evildoers and use them for better means. He had been too fired up in the heat of the moment to notice Roland's obvious paladin garb, or how Zarfan's stature grew as only an angel's did once the fighting began. He was back in his glory days. Long gone were the depressing thoughts of how he had been thrown from his own kingdom by a usurper, how his people had abandoned him for a false prophet who promised pain and blood. In this moment, he was a hero again. Oreiga reached into his pocket and grasped his thunderbolt, the one item he had managed to take with him from Valtamir. Using its charge, he summoned lightning from the sky, expecting to incapacitate his new foe and easily cow the rest into submission. It didn't work out that way. Oh well, so he was tougher than expected. With a smile, Oreiga put up his shield, snickering internally at how small and weak his foe was. He wondered if he would even feel the coming strike. Instead, he was physically shoved back, scraping his heavy boots against the rocky ground. What in the pits was going on? His flying foe lashed around him, and now he was sweating, relying on 700 years of fighting instinct to stay alive. He pulled out all the tricks, using his fate to its fullest extent. Then he saw the Tempest, an ascended foe. One of the hags in the back lobbed an acidic spell his way. It was in that moment that Oreiga knew he was in trouble, as an unseen force wrenched his arm to the side, and when he pulled it back to block the magic, the spell simply flew around his shield. Thankfully, the enemy seemed to relent as a mushroom ran at him, giving him a moment to shove the annoying plant back. Who were these people? His near-death experiences were lending him some sobriety, and he narrowed his eyes to see his opponent more clearly. That's when he saw the symbols of Garen. This must be a paladin. Almost as if in time to his realization, the hidden corrupted shrine unleashed its attack. It had waited patiently to cause the maximum damage to the living, and the shockwave from the attack, which was physical, magical, and psionic, tore apart the lesser mushroom monsters and threw Oreiga and the paladin back into the ground. They had been tossed out of range of the worst effects, for which Oreiga was most grateful. He had apparently sweated out the drink because he was feeling more himself now. With a groan of agony, he rolled over and saw the paladin jump to his feet, glancing with detached interest at his companions a good 80 feet away, who were easily cleaning up the remaining fate-minded mushrooms. He yelled quickly towards the approaching figure. "Hey, paladin! I think I judged you all wrongly, and I'm sorry. I tried to take your stuff. But you and I are going to have to work together to survive this. What do you say? Truce?" Oreiga tried to give his winningest smile, showing his bronze tooth. That smile faltered, though, when the paladin continued his approach, now speeding up to a sprint. "Paladin, I don't want to fight you anymore." Oreiga stood and grabbed his shield. "That thing is evil. It's going to kill us and your allies. I need your holy powers to help me get close enough to shatter it with my big hammer." It was at this point that the storm giant noticed that the paladin seemed to be whispering something into himself. "Stop, paladin!" Oreiga raised his hammer in a threatening manner. The paladin had been on the verge of falling over earlier, but now he seemed empowered. Oreiga had no choice. He struck down with his 200-pound weapon, crushing with the force of an avalanche. The paladin struck out with his lance towards the hammer, and Oreiga felt the recoil in his arm as the two collided. Everything shattered. The ground beneath the paladin, the fingers in his hand, and the solid stone head of his hammer, which was nearly the size of the paladin himself. The force would have broken almost every bone in the paladin's diminutive frame, but he moved forward inexorably towards the staggering Oreiga, unhalted and unharmed. The warrior launched off the ground and used a seismic kick to bowl Oreiga over, shattering the rock beneath him and throwing his shield. The paladin then jumped nearly 20 feet in the air, and Oreiga saw his intention was to drive his lance through his face. Reaching out, Oreiga's mighty shield was summoned by his fate, jumping to his hand. The movement was just a hair too slow. The lance penetrated straight through the shield and into his upper cheek. It sank a good foot before Oreiga's fate crunched the shield down around the weapon, slowing its advance into his skull. The otherworldly strength of this creature. He had never been outmatched in strength, not in his 1,000 years of life. But as the tiny elfling put all his muscle and weight into the handle of his lance, it slowly descended into the sweating face of the giant, piercing bone. Oreiga cried out in pain, shaking and kicking in vain as he used both his mass muscle and fate to push back against his encroaching death. It wasn't enough. Beneath all the pain and fear, Oreiga finally heard what the paladin was whispering beneath his breath, chanting it like a mantra. "Victory, victory, victory." The paladin's face held no emotion. It was as dead as he was about to be. Oreiga closed his eyes and felt the Reaper slide up next to him, its grisly scythe finally taking its quarry after so long. Oreiga never felt the small spell that hit his side, thrown by Juniper, and suddenly the paladin flew back. Oreiga blinked in surprise, then stood to take advantage of his sudden luck. He touched the hole in his cheek and it stung, the bone beneath throbbing in his face. Oreiga saw the building swarm of ghosts around the shrine. It was nearing critical mass. In only moments, that army would sweep through the whole area and steal the souls of every living creature. He looked between the unconscious paladin and the shrine. His mind was clear now. He had sweat out all the drink in his system. He made the right choice this time. We have to stop the shrine, or we're all dead! Oreiga screamed over the freezing winds that were billowing from the epicenter. He couldn't see beneath the mask, but he thought by the movement of the cloth the masked man smiled. We have a cleric! Red pointed. The devil is a cleric? Oreiga was perplexed. Haven't you ever heard of a tiefling before? Red yelled. Whatever. He's a good guy. A hero. Trust me. I do, Red Man. I do. Oreiga was full of fire. He would help save the day. He ran a few steps forward and promptly forgot the entire plan. Roland, as you feel exhaustion and pain from the battle with Oreiga, the jolt of lightning is causing your nerves to fling wildly, throwing your hands and legs off stride. You feel you were very low hit points, right?
I was back up to 28 at this point.
28. All right. The blast from the shrine took away almost all the rest of your hit points, putting you down to like 4. You were thrown down to the ground, and in that weakened state, you felt the other, now back from his small stint somewhere deeper in your mind, take full control of your body. Pathetic, it says. What is this attempt to help me? You only get in my way, he says. The other had somewhat used to Dalnor now. You had attempted to aid the other in difficult moments. You don't think he was appreciative of the effort. As the other takes full control of your body, you are in darkness. Somewhere in a place that you have been relegated to several times in the past, when particularly deadly foes have appeared. The last time you were here was all the way back with the Shadow Dragon. Shadow's mother. The other is in full control. Your fate grips your body with immense, powerful hands and puppets you towards Oreiga. And you have no control over any of it.
Am I, this is when he's calling out for a truce, correct? Am I hearing these things?
You do. You see 2 gigantic windows right before you. Your eyes staring out at the giant. You see the opportunities that the other is ignoring. He seems to have come to his senses. There usually is nowhere else to look in here, except out your own taken senses. But as you look around the darkened corner of your mind that you find yourself in, you do find something strange in here. A door.
How is moving in here? Is it like walking, or is it like I think to go towards it and I just go towards it?
I would say that Roland is not versed enough with mental areas in order to jump around his mind like maybe like a wizard would.
Oh no, I just meant like am I like
you do
am I
move in the normal way.
Moving?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not it's not like I'm like suspended.
No, you are standing up on a floor that seems to be made out of just something vaguely solid.
Okay. He's going to take off towards that door.
As you turn away from your own senses, you head towards what appears to be, now that you get closer to it, in the vague, shaded light coming through your own eyes. It's the door to your bedroom.
At home?
Yes.
Open it.
As you open it up, you are going to see inside a young Roland sitting on his bed. This Roland is about 8 years old. And there is another Roland sitting next to him. You hear the other Roland, one with a placid face. You need to get out of this school. This place is a waste of our time. Head out to the gates and leave this village. Leave this city. Hunt for adventure and glory. Battles that we have to win. You remember this place, this moment in time. Young Roland was just getting used to the other. It came rather early in his life. You sat on the bed and squinted your eyes shut as hard as you could and tried to ignore the voice in your head that people were saying was not real at this point in your life.
Can I approach?
Nobody has responded at all to your presence. But when you approach, the other is going to continue to chide young Roland for a moment before the perfect copy stands up and is going to walk towards the walls of the house and seems to vanish through them like a ghost.
He's going to turn around and walk back out the door.
As you leave, do you shut the door behind you?
Yeah.
When you shut the door, you are now looking back out your eyes.
Is the door still there behind me?
As you let your hand go off of the door, you hear no noise behind you of it shutting. When you turn around, there is no door at all. You don't know what that was. But as you look out your eyes now, you're going to see the other chanting, "Victory, victory, victory," and driving your lance into the giant's face through the shield. You feel vagus tingle of your fingers, gripping mightily around the lance and shoving it deeper. And then you're suddenly in control again.
He's going to pull it back.
You are flung. You are already in the air when you get control. You are actually like spiraling around, whipped by the giant's shield upwards. Something interrupted the other's control. Something broke your fate at that moment. You are flung, and sir, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw as you land after about a 13-foot drop on your head.
Nice.
Good thing we have a cleric.
16.
A double cleric.
Okay. You are only minorly dazed. You have exactly one turn of actions. Basically, you're going to get up off the most awkward position that your head has been in. You feel this terrible crick in the back of your neck. And as you hear this kind of hissing noise, and a kind of... It doesn't actually sound like anything, but you feel like a low pressure system moving in. A kind of intense pressure is coming from behind you that draws your eyes towards it. And when you turn around, you are going to see the shrine. So it's a face made out of stones, but the stones have split in two at the mouth and have opened up basically 180 degrees so that the mouth is just this massive maw facing up towards the sky. And there is this sort of bubble, like a ghostly orb, sort of growing inside of it. And you see 1,000 faces of dead, ghostly men, sort of welling inside this terrifying bubble coming out of the mouth. It looks like 1,000,000 souls are trying to escape from it all at once. Back across the field, you all are going to... Juniper, you have thrown the orb across the field to hit Oreiga. And Red has run over in that direction. A mushroom tries to... basically is going to try to fall directly on top of Juniper. And as it comes down, you are startled by the attack. But you're going to hear this howling wind as Clover is going to and this massive gale storm is going to push the mushroom just slightly off course. So its head crashes down about maybe a foot from you instead of directly on top of your head. You hear, "Mama, what that?" from Walks as he stands hopping with excitement and glaring across the field and the ruins and the mushrooms to see the welling bubble of ghosts that are trying to escape the shrine.
June looks in horror at the shrine that has started up and immediately turns to Walks and says, "I want you to stay back there, and if anything comes, you warn us."
Yuffie, you have just finished a daring maneuver, leaping off a cliffside as the blast wave shot out the thunderous scream from the shrine. Jania is going to grab your foot and hurl you up towards the mushroom just in time that the shockwave hits the mushroom right in front of you, and is going to topple it towards you as you sort of sling around the side of it and jam your dagger into the top of it, landing on it with a great thud and sliding off, feeling particularly dexterous at the moment. When you see Red Chaos has run across the field and is yelling some almost inaudible thing towards the massive giant, who's going to give him this kind of grand thumbs up, and then is going to walk, and you immediately see his face just kind of go blank, what was I doing?
Okay.
Isaac, as you don't usually have to gesture to make your constructs do things, but when you're asking them to do particularly nimble or intricate things, sometimes you'll wave a hand. At the moment, you look like an orchestra meister, throwing your hands wildly as your constructs rove about the battlefield, finishing off the last of the large mushrooms. Your bronze scout has determined that they are soft enough to burrow into. And Phalor is grabbing, just runs up and does this stabby on the roots. And then Prongor is going to sort of leap up and with his heavy metal arm crashes into the center of it and knocks it over like a great tree. He's going to say, "Master, we did good, yes?"
Can I see that shrine in the bubble?
As Prongor says that, you're going to look over his shoulder and see what several other people's eyes are becoming drawn to in the back. The shrine's mouth is making a small granite clicking noise as it opens all the way up. And you see the threatening necrotic energy build up, larger even than what you found in Betmorth's lair, the dead of 1,000 souls. Your necklace, the Sinstone, begins to not shine, but glows like the sun in that moment, the moment the mouth is fully open. You see what appears to be weapons also, ghostly weapons, trying to pierce out the bubble to escape the mouth. You have heard of such things, as has Juniper. These shrines, when they murder people, they capture their souls and prevent them from going to Zosar. sending them to destroy even more living creatures and gather more souls until they have a vast army to send out across the world.
Would Isaac know
No.
that it will be effective to shatter the thing? Or did I hear the giant say to do that?
No, you could not hear. They're over 80 feet away in the middle of the fight, which there was like giant mushrooms bashing things all around you and ruins falling and spells being cast.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear that, but from your own knowledge, Juniper, you simply know that they can be physically destroyed. At least for a period of time. They will reassemble themselves over the course of 13 days. But Isaac,
tell
you
them
may
the
roll
only
Arcana
actual
or
way to
religion.
Didn't I say that the only actual way to end it was by wishing? Like
I believe you did tell the party that.
June's not looking forward to getting close enough to do that.
I crit.
Oh, shit. You remember when you had searched through one of Betmorth's dark libraries down in his base of operations and had discovered the means by which dark shrines were purposely created and the unnatural benefits of such shrines, especially for some lich who seeks the souls of the dead. This is basically an eternal wellspring of dead souls that one can draw off of, keeping, basically like slashing a cut over and over again to keep it bleeding. However, this is particularly bad. Only the power of heavenly light can keep the ghosts at bay.
Ah, crap.
So shattering the thing is we're past that point. It's not no.
You have to get to it. It has resistance to magic, but you can also cast spells at it. But once the ghosts are unleashed, you won't be able to see it. It'll have full cover.
Okay. You said it can be restrained through the power of heavenly light?
The power of heavenly light can stop the ghosts from ripping your soul from your body.
Oh.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
Protect us. Only person who can do it right now.
Oh, and, oh, I know it's not anger.
Uh-huh.
All right, Juniper, you are suddenly going to feel the thunderous tromping of the giant as he comes forward, and he's going to yell out, "The cleric! The cleric!"
I'm very tempted just to use telekinesis to throw you. But that's... Wait, can we... Who can fly right now?
Oh my gosh.
Me and you, right? Okay.
He probably yells that at the same time I
That's not...
do my roll and realize what we need.
So your mind's like, bing, and then the giant is yelling, the cleric, towards you. Each one of you gain exactly one action or a move. You don't gain both.
Or a move. Oh, man.
How far away is he from me?
You all are within about a 20-foot radius of one another.
How far away is the giant?
Except
The giant is in the middle of the field, but he's moving fast. He's about 40 feet away. You are near the shrine.
Yeah.
You are like almost on top of it at this moment.
Okay.
You were thrown by the shield and sort of washed it up
June
and
is
landed
going to
nearby.
fly up to him and say, "You have to get me to that shrine."
You say that too?
You.
How am I going to get you to the shrine?
You're the only one who can use the light of heaven right now.
Oh, you mean like shield you so you can get up to the shrine. I thought you meant like physically
Roland.
get you there.
Red is rushing towards you, and he's like going like that, like to duck.
Just a second.
For me to duck.
That's what he's making the gesture of. But he is sprinting towards you as fast as he can.
I'm gonna crouch and turn towards it. What's going on?
He says, whatever he responds with, so
I'm just picturing you very mellowly going, "What's
I
going
guess what's
on?
going on.
No, I'm panicked.
What's up, dude?"
I'm very panicked.
I know. I figured you were, but that's just how I was picturing it.
he says, "Shields up! The shrine's gonna..." And you're suddenly gonna hear this. You're gonna see the bubble sort of split at the top. And you're going to see this eruption of ghosts pour out in every direction around it. They're moving disturbingly fast across the ground. And you see what must be the souls of thousands of soldiers pour out from the shrine. They have weapons, and they seem enraged, like men on the charge on a battlefield. Your studies of war recognizes men from thousands and thousands of years ago, armor styles that are no longer used, dragonborn from what must be ancient ages, creatures that are not men at all, things like weirdlings. You're looking at giants in there, dragons,
How far away am I from Red now?
about 10 feet.
I'm gonna run to Red.
Okay.
And give him my shield. And get behind him.
Isaac, what is your action?
I drop concentration on all of the constructs because I don't care about those right now. And I know Prongwar's right next to me. Who else is right next to me?
Everybody who is on your side of the field is within about 20-foot radius of you.
Who else
I
on your side of the field?
Everybody but him.
Okay.
I immediately do whatever Isaac would think would protect the people around him. I don't know how to verbalize it as a player, but I know I'm a cleric and I could...
In your mind, a concentrated burst of light of heaven energy, a turn undead.
Okay.
Should we wait till they get closer?
Well, they are going to hit you at the end of this action.
Oh, okay. Go for it!
Isaac would time it however he needs to time it, and that's what he'll do.
Jennifer, what is your action?
Didn't I just say what my action was? Well, that course... It was relatively close to him, so does that count?
What did you say?
I said I went to him and I said, I need you to get me to the shrine.
That's and
She's-
Yuffie, you're going to see Jania's eyes kind of ride wide, and you see the reflection of the white souls in her eyes as she looks at the oncoming death.
Euphemia is going to say, shit! And then she's going to look for
Right,
Bali.
that's your action. No,
Oh.
just joking.
You know, that would be a fair action, but...
Dead.
She'd look for Bali, and where is Walks at this point?
I told him to run the opposite direction of the shrine.
He can definitely
And keep
outrun
an eye
the
out.
souls, thinking how fast he is.
Uh-huh.
That's a
Well,
good idea.
Yeah, I told him to go that way and tell us if he finds anybody. If
So,
anybody comes this way.
By that way, do you mean away
Away.
from
I have an idea.
us? Okay, so there's, like, no reason to gather him closer.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I told him to run.
for dramatic effect, instead of turn undead, can I use Guardian of Faith?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna, like, push them towards him, trying to get closer.
Okay. As you yell out, what do you yell out?
Get to the cleric! She'll yell.
All right. Jania is instantly going to follow your instructions.
the
She
cleric.
leaps over the mushroom.
You lost status of name, sorry.
You're going to see Isaac sort of draw from his stomach upwards, and then he's going to slam his fists together like that. And Isaac, what is your guardian spirit?
It is a giant spectral image of Cassian with a great shield in his hands, and he's going to slam the shield into the earth to make like a wall in front of us.
Are you using this?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
different bird.
Guardian of Faith.
Okay. I was thinking about using that.
Let's see. Let me roll here. If I roll a 1, the NPC is going to fail to make it to the shield. Dom? That's good. Well, I'm not going to roll for Walks.
Face.
Bali?
What?
What
She's
happened?
good.
You looked at Daniel like Daniel just...
And Johnny.
Last nerve. It was really fun.
Like he was coming for you.
All right. And then, so all of your
He's
crew
always...
easily makes it.
Yep.
Clover. You didn't yell anything towards Clover. He is
Clover's
going
smart enough to do his own thing.
Right. I'm going to see if he's going to run or stick around. Okay. Clover is going to turn and then just blown away in the breeze.
It's fair. Cool with it.
Okay. You didn't tell Walks to run, did you?
I told him to run that way, and if anybody comes, let us know.
You're gonna see walks. He's going to like wait an unnecessarily long time, and he sort of like turns with some kind of intention to want to help. But as he sees the screaming hordes running towards him, he's going to like, and then turns and
Good.
like leaves a little streak on
Good,
the ground.
adorable baby bird.
I thought
And-
Daniel was going to say someone was coming, and Walks came back to tell us.
Oh no.
all right, and Zarafan. He's good. And Hero. Oh, they all made it.
Okay.
Okay. Prongor. No, Prongor's right next to you.
I always hate the pause that he has right before he says it. It's very filled with strife.
Hang on.
It's filled with fear.
Okay. Interesting.
Um,
All right.
I don't like that.
So all of your constructs, except for Phalor, so they're just naturally inside the sphere, but you didn't you let go of your concentration on them. So Phalor was left outside of it.
Okay.
Roland, as you rush towards Red and like shove your shield in Red's hand, he's obviously surprised and he's sort of like struck by the force of you two running into each other. But he's going to sort of instantly know what you're doing. He's going to sort of slide to the ground and like place the shield down. So the King's Guard is about that big. So it's not blocking the whole of you. But he's going to like sort of wedge himself behind it, and you wedge yourself behind him. And almost instantly, this cacophony and horrifying, waving blast of ghostly spirits is going to ride, maybe like striking your head at first. There's like a line that they aren't going underneath. So you can like be below it a little bit, but not quite. You're going to make a DC 20 Wisdom saving throw as you are struck by the ghosts.
Can't he channel out of heaven because he's a
I know.
paladin?
I'm sorry, your
can,
face
but
is
I didn't. I
fantastic.
either
Oh
could
my
move
God.
or do an
yeah.
action.
I'm really nervous.
Yeah, you made a right choice.
So I wanted to get to Red.
Yeah.
I will plan on doing Turn the Unholy if I get a chance to
Mm.
do something before I die.
Yeah.
You can
Which
live.
is-
Or not, maybe not.
What save was it?
Can you
Please tell me that
Uh,
wasn't a 4.
I'm going to use Inspiration and try to roll again
I like
if that's
that.
cool.
I'm afraid that you've already rolled.
I was 1 under.
No.
Oh my God.
What save was
Can
it?
Red aid him? He's like right there.
Red,
Wisdom. I rolled 14 out of 5.
Do you have a hero point?
Do you have a hero point?
so while you were, so you had 4 hit points, you take 40
Yeah.
points of damage, 20 psychic, 20 necrotic,
Cool.
as you are struck by the ghosts. Red is going to use a
Does that
shield
take me-
charge,
does that take me
takes you to
negative?
0.
Okay.
Red is going to use a shield charge to prevent himself from going down.
Please.
And he is unable to like see you as like know that you are okay because he is like holding the shield against this tide.
Do I start getting drug away by it?
So what is going to happen,
Yes.
although nobody can see it, once you are within the cloud, it's basically this white, sort of white light with streaks of shadows that make the outlines of bodies. But several ghostly spears and swords are going to jam into your body in different areas.
What type of damage was it?
Necrotic and psychic, you said?
It is psychic and necrotic damage.
Cool. Okay, just checking.
You guys are going to see the
Not
cloud
cool,
just
but-
roll over Red and Roland. And as it gets out away from the shrine, the ghosts are going to kind of go down to touch on the ground. And as they spread across the ground, you're going to see before them the land just dies. All the grasses instantaneously wilt and are trampled over as screaming dragons and terrifying soldier hordes are marching towards you. But all of you standing near Isaac are going to watch as a giant angel appears wreathed in magic and is going to slam his shield into the wall of soldiers, and it bursts around the group. Sort of like a great rock in the middle of a river.
There's a tiny moment of amusement when she notices who it is. But other than that, it's...
I guess only two of you would recognize him.
Yeah.
You're going to see the giant, and you can only really see him at all because he's so big. But he is going to be hit, and he sort of falls over and lands on his hand.
Is he okay?
And he clearly is trying to, crawl through the horde.
How
But
far?
he is probably about 15 feet outside of the protective sphere.
No, he weighs way more than that. Okay.
I was gonna say if I could try to grab him and pull him, but
No.
Okay.
Can
So,
you shift? Can your thing move?
I think it's static. After I set it somewhere, it's stuck there.
Oh, well, crap.
Yeah.
Wait, does it stay there even if you're not there?
Let me check.
this is Guardian of Faith, right?
Which I know I have right here. Spectral Guardian hovers duration in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. It does not. The card doesn't say anything about the Guardian moving. Or not being able to
the Guardian does not move.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So no movie,
No, it won't move.
but it stays if you leave?
Yes.
That is at least helpful.
From your very astute check earlier, you know that if you were to use something like Turn Undead, you'd be able to move freely with that protection for a whole turn.
Okay.
So you could move.
I could go with Jude.
You could part the crowd and move through it with those abilities.
But wait, does the Guardian stay still?
Guardian does stay. Yeah, he would have to use a separate ability,
I think I can.
but the Guardian will continue to
Are they
protect as
both
long as he maintains concentration.
Guardian is.
Turn Undead is not concentration.
So I can use Turn Undead 3 times, so we can get 3 turns worth of moving
Okay.
through this.
How far can you move?
30 feet, because I have hooves.
How far away are we from it?
80 feet.
So we could conceivably get there.
We'd have 10 feet to spare.
Correct.
Excellent. I can be tiny if I need to be.
Guardian of Faith is not concentration. That's nice to know. I didn't know that.
So if we exit the circle, nobody can see us?
You can. There's a very slight outline, reasonably close to the bubble, but you can't see anything beyond 20 feet.
Cool. Okay. Yes. Very seriously, she's holding on to your arm right now. Can this stay?
Yeah? Why?
I have to get to the shrine. I can stop it, but I have to physically touch it.
Okay, Isaac's gonna shout out, "Nobody move from behind this." And then he's gonna grasp the sin stone on his neck and then throw his hand out, and then he's gonna start running with you in that direction.
As soon as we get far enough out of the bubble, she's suddenly not there. She's tiny and she's sitting on your shoulder. Go.
Okay, Isaac starts running.
All right. Do you have any other reaction to Juniper taking on her fairy form?
You noticed
Oh.
she definitely waited until we were out of vision
Yeah.
of everyone.
I didn't know if it was that, or maybe it was just literally yourself but shrunk.
Sure. Yeah.
No, she looks like a fairy right now.
Okay.
She has wings. They're actually made of heavenly light.
Isaac goes, "Oh, holy shit.
Don't
Sorry.
stop.
Sorry, I'm still not used to this."
Well, if you were, I'd be surprised.
You have inspiration?
She's
You,
Oh, wait, I
holding.
do.
You have
Alright.
long hair, right?
Yes.
She's holding on to it.
Okay.
you gain one. Do you have one?
No, I don't have one right now.
His hair is
Is
very thick and curly, and it feels like he takes good care of it, even though he's kind of undead.
All right.
Yeah, she would probably have a very brief off moment of, I wonder what product he uses. And then...
Oh, the things we have in common.
Isaac,
Not what you would expect.
roll initiative.
Oh, you're kidding me. Okay.
I'm with you,
21 for your opponent.
21 for me.
Oh shit. He has a better mod than you do, plus
Okay.
4. Thalor is going to rush out of the ghosts, both daggers held high, and runs towards you to jam them into your chest.
God.
I knew that was coming.
No.
When he said Phalor wasn't in the sphere, I was like, is up to something.
You see some kind of soldier sitting within the bones of Thalor. You don't know who it is, and you can barely tell that what race it would be, but it seems to have possessed the bones.
Is it being within Phalor somehow protecting it from my turn undead?
Uh,
It's having
Thaylor's
to enter
technically
this-
undead.
Phalor is
so Thalor has to make your save, right?
against turn undead.
Okay. What is that save? And hand me Thalor.
No.
I don't think Phalor wouldn't have to make
I
it. That
don't want
spirit would have to make it, right? I guess it's animating Phalor, so whatever. I'm not going to split hairs about it. Let me give you.
So yeah, when it infuses into his body, he becomes Thalor for
I
all
gotcha.
intents and purposes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, as much as I would love to have actually had 8th and 9th level spells, this...
Oh, Thalor has turn immunity. On his sheet, right now.
Oh yeah,
Is immune to the effects of turn undead.
Oh.
I guess it's so I don't accidentally vaporize him when I'm turning other undead.
What an excellent ability to
My
have at this
own
moment.
genius is
Yeah.
biting
Joe
me in
Butt.
the ass right now. I should not have
Fantastic.
handed you the sheet.
Alright, so he moves forward and attacks
I
twice.
think I said no!
Oh no, he crits one of them. The other one is a 15 BAC.
Can I help at all?
15 misses.
Well, it's his turn, but you get to roll initiative now.
Why didn't
I'm
I
This
glad
is a
I'm already
surprise
dead.
attack.
Oh, well, how come I didn't get to roll?
What the heck am I supposed
Roll.
to do against ghosts?
Yep.
Isaac's not even mad. He screwed this guy over so bad. Like, the fact that he's stabbing me now just feels right.
Just. Dear fucking Lord.
Mine's an 18.
The only way I
42?
could have gotten this
42
is if I
points?
crit, so.
For the crit.
Are you kidding me?
You dead?
Alright. No, I'm not dead.
As,
Sorry, I
that's
can
a
heal you.
as Phalor stabs you, you are going to feel the Revenant's vengeance.
I bet.
I bet.
You feel the extra strike that can only be the sworn target of Phalor's vengeance, his own master.
Okay. Now it's my
Played
turn,
yourself.
and then what? Back to top of round.
Right, Juniper specifically.
This is starting off great.
Shit, I can't do anything but maintain turn undead. Otherwise, we're screwed. So I don't know if I can do anything.
What? I didn't know about that.
Isaac's going to. I still have bonus actions. Hold on.
Damn, you haven't done this to us in a while, Daniel.
Roland.
What, tried to murder us all horribly?
Roland.
Yep.
Roll 2d4 plus 2.
You shouldn't have said his name. He brought his attention to you. It's always dangerous.
Everyone hide from me.
Morty.
8.
8?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 2d4 plus 2, you rolled an 8. Alright.
Or 4 and 2.
You regain 8 hit points.
No, wow.
Red gives you a potion.
Oh, my guy. My dude.
As you wake up, you are confused. You seem to still be in the thrashing hordes of ghosts, but their attacks are ricocheting off the shields of almost a dozen Giran soldiers, ghost soldiers, that have
They
formed
saw
a
us
shield
and-
wall around you.
They saw us
That's so
and just...
sick.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
They are Giran soldiers from every age of Giran that have died on these battlefields.
Whoa.
Sir,
awesome.
we have you. One of them says.
That's awesome.
Shit, that definitely changes me wanting to do Turn the Unholy. He's gonna stand up and I guess stand with him and try to use radiant damage to fight back anybody trying to harm him.
All right. One of the soldiers, by his armor and your knowledge of history, he is a captain. He's going to turn back towards you. He has a very stoic face. It is an elven warrior. He's going to say, "Sir, we can use ourselves to drive a wedge all the way to the thing, or all the way to the shrine. You will get one strike at it," he says. "If you fail, we won't be able to protect you anymore."
Okay.
All right.
Red.
He's going to smile.
He's going to look at Red and be like, "Red, does that sound okay?"
Attack. Back over to...
Would this allow us to get through? It is defined as divine energy. I didn't know if radiant divine would count as the light of heaven.
Divine seems like light of heaven, right?
Yes, this will work.
Excellent! I can help.
Okay, so for Isaac's turn, the main action he has to maintain.
Hang on, it's June.
June is gonna look at you, seeing this problem happening, and she's immediately going to... She goes from being like looking like herself, but as a fairy, to actually starting to glow with almost divine energy as she seems to start gesturing and little symbols start coming off of her, and suddenly a circle radius of about 30 feet of golden energy just shoots out from you guys.
You recognize a cleric's spell.
Circle
coming
of
from-
power.
Oh, okay. That's a fancy one.
Forgot I had that.
As
Number
the radiant energy bursts out from Juniper, it's going to form a protective sphere that is going to supersede the Turn Undead.
Are we close enough to the giant that he gets to be included?
30
We ran.
feet. You moved 30 feet.
Towards the
So
shrine.
yeah, he's barely in.
Good.
Barely inside.
Hey.
Good. I'm trying to help him.
This will also... So you guys are going to see... You couldn't see anything with the Turn Undead, but now you see this like golden shell appear inside of the ghosts somewhere deeper in the horde. Jenny is going to go, "What in the pits is happening?"
She says,
It's probably him. He's the cleric.
she's just gonna say, I'm assuming that's a good thing.
Perfect.
Rafe would know what it is.
Nice.
Is he in there too?
Rafe's with you guys.
Oh, okay, right.
Because he has the
Yeah,
light
that's
right
the-
now.
Yeah. No angel, no mo.
All right. So all of your allies have advantage on saving throws in the sphere, correct?
Yes. An additional, any affected creature who succeeds on a saving throw made against a spell or a magical effect. Allows it to make a saving throw. It only takes half damage. Instead, it takes no damage. So
Cool.
that's helpful, at least.
Very, very cool. All right. So
And this lasts to 10 minutes, so you can save your stuff to fight off against him. I forgot I had this, sorry, otherwise I wouldn't have made you come. But it
All right.
made sense.
We're in it together now.
So, Phalor is possessed, seemingly, by this ghostly spirit. Has struck his hand into you, and you feel the weight of its vengeance against the man who killed him, and puppets his corpse around.
I'm not including Phalor as a friendly person right
That's
now.
probably wise.
Just saying
And,
it. Just saying it. Sorry.
So it is your turn, sir. The top of the round.
Isaac, bonus action, Shield of Faith on himself. And then he is going to... he's going to attack Phalor with Divine Strike.
Okay. Yuffie, you're going to see the glow of several spells being cast, not really that far in, and it seems like maybe something has attacked the two of them before they were able to complete their mission. You are just outside of their sphere of influence, because they only moved one movement action. It may be possible, if you wanted to dive in between them. This wall of safety and that bubble of safety.
You want to come?
kind of question is that? Yeah.
I forgot who I was talking to. Miss Barfight.
She's got so much sense. She'll turn to Rafe and say, "Can we join them?"
He's going to look down at his hands. I think I've got just enough light of heaven to shield one person.
You want to do this?
Good luck. He's going to grasp onto your shoulder, and you feel charged by what remains of his light of heaven.
She's gonna knock back a potion as well.
Yes, I'm having bittersweet feelings right
Yeah,
now.
there
it's
you are.
That guy.
The potion of the chronic. Oh, wow, I'm giving you super inspiration for that, for remembering to use your items. All right, give me the potion.
I know. I never. Oh no! I want to keep it and then pull it out again. So I haven't used this. It's
Give
fine.
it to
This is why we don't use our items.
But he takes them away.
All right.
Do I have to use the whole potion so I can't give it to no one else?
Correct.
Can? Okay.
Yeah. You have to
Yep.
drink the whole thing.
Okay.
As you drink the potion and charge in, you may now roll initiative as well. And Isaac, you were saying?
Does a 17 hit Faylor?
It does, yes. 17 does hit Phalor, although you do feel his reinforced armor.
Yes, I do.
Good job, bud.
This is
You
Isaac's.
need
did
to
a
do
real
a
good
worse
job
job.
making
This is literally his worst nightmare. His creation's turning against him. Okay.
Yep.
Isaac raises his staff like this, and he goes, "From the pits we were born, and from the pits we strike," and he drives it into the earth. And these inky black tentacles are gonna lash out and slash at Phalor, and then he's gonna go, "I hope this doesn't bang you up too much."
What type of damage is it?
It's called Touch of Death,
So probably necrotic?
so probably necrotic, but I think he's resistant to that.
He is.
Good job, bud.
Alright, so in that case, let's make it Divine Strike instead.
Give me a saver's bad idea to change it.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for a second. I'll drink it after that.
Oh,
Oops.
I'll get that later.
Oh, God.
I rolled a 2.
All right, you do not change the attack.
Okay.
You are forced to go with the...
So the
You're in the moment.
whatever half of 29 is.
29, so he takes... Okay, he is
dear
fine.
fucking Lord.
He is going,
fine.
as the tentacles sort of wrap around him, he's going to grab them and rip them off, and sort of holding them in the air, he's going to place one and sort of slide his hand down it, encasing his dagger in the necrotic energy, and then go to thrust it into you.
Isaac feels some pride in how sturdy his creation is right now.
You hear it quietly in your ear. You really need to build in fail-safes.
Yes, I do.
As you're dodging.
No, when you said that, Isaac's this has never happened to me before. I never thought it would happen.
Oh, God. Okay, so as soon as Phalor's turn starts, the damage done by your spell instantly regenerates, because he has regeneration.
Man, I'm so
And-
good.
Good job, bud.
Stop cheering for your pet.
If I were going to go down, this is the only way I'd be happy. By my own creation.
That's fair. But still.
All right. He is going to
Don't
use
take it
Vengeful
with you.
Glare on you, sir. DC 15 Wisdom save, as he looks at you with basically Ghost Rider's
You have an
ability.
advantage.
Oh, because your spell.
Yep.
He's going to turn towards you, and you feel the weight of his hatred towards you.
Wisdom?
Yes.
24.
24. All right. You are able to, you feel the weight of it, but as you sort of turn away, you are able to shrug off the effects, which was permanent paralysis.
It's hard to make Isaac feel guilty about anything, so
Yes, that's true.
not a good spell against him.
All right. You see a couple, very faint, small moments of Phalor's life where he wasn't a terrible criminal.
Oh,
Sort of good moments where he was
Damn.
a father
yeah.
to his child and his
To Zio.
yeah.
What was Zio like as a kid in these visions?
You
Or
see
do I
them
not
sort
get
of
it?
playing what looked like sort of shell games together.
Yeah.
Sort of teaching him how to like swindle people, basically.
Oh.
Fond memories.
But they were fun together.
Swindling's enjoyable. There's nothing
You
wrong
know,
with
just
What did you roll
because
for
they're
initiative?
criminals doesn't mean they
13.
can't love
13?
each other.
Alright. What was your initiative roll, Jim?
This is killing me.
Was it higher than 13?
Yes, it
Okay.
was 18.
Alright, then Phalor's done. It is your turn, followed by Yuffie, followed by Isaac.
Okay.
Wait, I get to hop in there at some point.
So, if I blast Phalor away, he could technically double move.
Sure.
Cool.
But the spell is surrounding you, not him.
I'm sitting on his shoulder. 'Cause
Correct.
Technically my mount right now.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Good mount. You even have hooves.
Jesus Christ. Perfect.
Just don't take my hair and start like.
No, that would be
Rat
awkward.
tattooing you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually.
Um,
Now who's the master?
sorry, I got distracted by what was going on, so
Right.
I didn't prepare. I'm a bad
lot.
I'm a bad wizard. I'm a bad
You are
wizard.
not.
Right
You're
now
so
I am.
creative.
Yes, but I gotta actually get there.
This is my favorite thing that's happened in the game.
Okay,
For
so,
some reason, I never thought they would
before
do this.
we get to
I should've
the
known that.
end here. Roland.
Yeah.
You, the plan, it seems, is in action.
Okay.
The members of the shield wall are going to fold forward into a triangle. And Red is sort of looking around, sort of awed at the moment, at the strange happenstances that come with life. He's going to sort of lean over and whisper, "Good thing you had that armor on," he says, looking down at the symbol of Garen on your chest.
Are you okay with this? Because this is good and bad for both of us.
We're coming, buddy.
He goes, he's just going to kind of shrug and then push you
'Cause
forward.
He's gonna keep. He's gonna stay behind Red because he wants Red to keep the shield so that he can. So he's like. Also, how are the ghosts like solid to us at all?
Yes, they do emit force, but
Because-
not solid. It's more like a hurricane wind is blasting against
Like
you.
if I like touched one of them, what does it feel like?
It'd feel like your flesh was falling off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good.
Okay. I was just curious how it feels like pushing with them.
So
Sure.
here's how it's going to work. You're going to roll a strength check.
Mhm.
They're going to roll strength checks.
Also, take this healing potion.
Okay, sure. So you regain, this is a greater healing potion, so that's, trying to remember what's greater.
Potion, like,
Is that-
I already took it.
Said
Okay.
44?
I already took it when I was fighting
Plus
the giant.
You did. I
Yeah,
remember
it's
that.
44 plus 4, I'm pretty sure.
44.
4d4.
Oh, okay.
I'll roll 2, you roll 2.
Cool.
So I rolled 7,
I rolled 7 too.
so 18 points.
18.
Nice.
So that's plus my 8. So 26 now.
So as you swig the potion like a man at a bar about to go ask a lady if she would like to dance, you move forward and push against the backs of your fellow Giran soldiers. All three of you need to roll.
Okay.
All three of you need to beat a 50 in order to push your way
Red,
up.
and the soldiers.
Not red.
Just 3.
So you form the point of the triangle at the front
Mhm.
to push through the ghosts.
Okay. Cool. So these are strength checks, right?
Yes.
So are you rolling for 2?
I rolled 2 of them.
No, these-
Each one of these have a +3.
Okay.
Here we go. Ooh, they did not roll well.
Rolled a 15.
33 total. Didn't make it. All right. As you all push your way forward through the horde, you're going to suddenly see a huge, shadowy creature. Tendril reaches up out of the ground and basically grasps onto your leg and pulls you off balance into the ghosts. And we will end there. Thank you, noble heroes, for coming to join us today. Everything went swimmingly. Our heroes are safe and well and ready for their next
Yeah.
adventure.
I'm alive.
We
For now.
are.
They're all alive for now. We shall see if that continues. Thank you for joining us. And remember, do try this at home.